This week on Hermitcraft.
I need another elven kiss, brother.
No, don't do it.
Good.
Welcome to the Hermitcraft recap. My name is Pixorifs, our writer is LoyXP. Captions on this video were provided by Liara, and I think we could all use some elven kisses in these trying times. Something is rotten in the state of Hermitcraft, and that's not just because Impulse threw a poisonous potato in it, but it is because of basically everything else that Impulse does.
You're looking at me like I'm crazy.
You are crazy. You want to dethrone a king. I mean, I'm in, but like, you are crazy.
Despite Grian's desperate efforts, a resistance has formed within the Rendogian kingdom, while the court secures their own allies and builds their monuments. There's also talk of a special charity event for which the group plans to fill a whole birch forest with minigames and stream themselves playing them.
And once all the games are complete, we will then put on an amazing event. It's gonna be special surprises, special guests, and a whole lot more that will be announced over the next couple weeks. So,
meanwhile, a new prank war rears its head, or is it the old one, all the way from Season 2? All in all, it's been a great news week. Was it a good week to live these news? Well, let's take a look at all the events and mishaps and find out. Starting with Zedaf, because the royal affairs are complicated and will need their own segment this week. Fortunately, Zedaf is far above the squabbles of the populi, for he has gaming to do. And this week he decides that Tango Tech should do some gaming too, for once. Which is why Zed's custom advancement for the week is to make someone else complete an advancement, and then another one, and then two more.
Awarded for nothing, or AFK for short.
Conveniently, several of the in-game achievos are not actually tied to the recipient doing anything but picking up items.
Hold on, does he need more? He did it, look at that. Tango, you AFK legend, getting all the stuff possible. That's loud.
But just dispensing game progression at the guy was too simple, which is why Zedaf recruits Grian for his fishing skills, and together they fishing rod Tango all the way to the shopping district. There, Grian sicks his shulker friends at him, and without once touching a keyboard, Tango Tech completes the Great View from Up Here challenge.
No! Oh no, I missed, but he's okay. He's fine. He's actually better than ever.
Also, Zedaf farts in his face at some point. Good times.
And if I just walk back a little bit like this, perfect.
I am so confused. Why? Why am I in the shopping district?
This is actually a welcome change of pace for Tango, the game progression, not the fart, because for the past couple of weeks he's been playing less so Minecraft and more decked out to Development Simulator 2022.
For the first time in your life, you've become amazing at this game.
Yes, and I did nothing.
This time we're finally hitting the deck, then shuffling the deck, dealing the deck, scheduling the deck, and generally doing anything with the cards save telling your fortune. Though the machine in question is responsible for people's fortunes indeed, this mess of redstone is the dedicated decoder for the cards used in the game. It will decide which enhancement to pull out of the player's arsenal and which perk to apply when, though the answer to all of these for now is more or less at random.
So there you have it. That's about as much detail as I probably want to go into. I know a lot of you are probably phasing out by now, but that's the card unloader, permanent card processor, card shuffler, normal card processor, card destruction, card scheduler. All that stuff is now done.
Tango also channels some love into the playing area, but why is there a dinner table in the Frozen Crypt dungeon? Tango, what have you been doing with the cadavers? The server's other games master, Vintage Beef, continues to sweep his way through the alphabet of other hermits, with Iskal's card the latest among them. But in the meantime, he gathers a bunch of quartz, skulk, and cyan terracotta to build the official card game store, although not in the place he originally intended.
Well, in this episode, I changed my mind. This is where I want to build. This is more central, guys. Look at all the... I feel like I'm going to be ruining some shop's aesthetics here with my design.
The interior will have to wait for another day, as will the practice area and the Shadow Realm for people to try out their newly purchased cards. And while it has a fancy floor, it's not quite as functional as the floor of Illuminate.
Aha, this is what I want. Enbrod, 2 diamonds for 64. Where are they? Hello? Is this just not open yet? Is that what's happening here? Wait a second. Genius.
More games are on the cards for Joe Hills, who's still fresh from last week's Azuma-themed party and gets points for claiming a quest using the Exolotl head thanks to one of his YouTube commenters. Unfortunately for Joe, his Totem of Undying has other ideas.
Okay, then straight up. Am I going to be able to get under that?
I did it! So let's try that maybe again.
The pinball game base is coming together piece by mechanical piece, but Joe needs a lot of grey dye. Luckily, Cleo is happy to let him use her flower farm if she can keep all the cornflowers, and in addition to dropping off a bouquet as a thank you, Joe adds a composter and more storage than you can shake a floor at.
But I realized I could maybe optimize it a little bit. You might say, Joe, how could you optimize Cleo's already perfect machine she ripped off from the Minecraft wiki? Well, let me tell you.
Well, keep your floor leveled because we have some sorting systems on the server that will shake your whole world. Now that his floor is well and textured, Hypnotized needed something to put all these texturing materials away, and built the complex shulker loaders and the redstone auto sorters to do that for him. We're talking chests of shulkers here, so chests of stacks of materials, potentially, as long as the system remains loaded and able to process it. Though you'll have to be pretty loaded yourself to own enough stuff to fill all this, which is why Hypnotized gets one more farm closer to that, a sugarcane harvesting compound that even uses water floating over rails in a few spots, which is neat.
So I think there's something like 6 stacks of chests worth of shulker boxes. Whatever 6 times 64 is, that's about how many shulker boxes we have on this side alone.
The part Azumavoid finds difficult about his auto sorter is the vibe. With all the functional stuff in place, X struggles a little with what blocks to put around the chest room. It's a burning issue as he feels his general theme for the season is all over the place, as he stands there wearing bone armor inside his giant skeleton house. No, the vibe is found, as are another couple of mods to make dealing with shulkers less of a pain. A combo of a client-side mod and a resource pack, it turns out, can help color coordinate the purpose shulkers and even assign custom textures to each dedicated box. That's on top of the client mod X uses to see the whole shulker's inventory simply by hovering over it and having the redstone auto sorter, mind you. He really has taken it to sorting his stuff out, is all I'm saying.
Oh, and while recording this video, the resource pack actually got released over on Planet Minecraft, and Ewan also sent me this image of lots of different shulker boxes, rendered with lots of different items on top. It looks so cool, and I'm looking forward to hearing your thoughts about this project.
But no auto sorter will help us unpack the intrigues of the royal court, so let's cut to the part where we do that ourselves. Welcome to a new segment we're currently titling The King's Grumbot. Please come up with a better name for this segment for us, this one makes no sense. Last we saw the monarch, he outlawed the making of the quests, or intrusions on the royal budget. Grian, who's been intruding on the royal budget to create his own frivolous quests, finds himself at an impasse.
Don't start a resistance, don't start a resistance, don't start a resistance.
For about a minute. Then he just starts calling his priority quests priority adventures and finances them with the diamond sunglasses off the king's statue.
These glasses actually used to be black wool, and now they're diamonds because of mismanagement of public funds.
And we say them, but really we should say it, the only priority adventure available, and it tells people to go ask Grumbot what to do. As established before, Grumbot Prime can generate a video prompt comprised of a verb, a hermit, and a noun. And what are the chances that the next prompt Grumbot generates for Impulse SV is remove king claim? The chances are 100% actually. Grian totally rigs it and removes all the other prompts, which Grumbot is not too happy with, mind you.
Ooh. Oh, that's terrifying. You should not answer for me. I am sorry. My Grian was sorry too.
Now, what this interaction could mean for the larger Grumbot canon is a thing of its own that we don't have time to cover in this recap at all. Expect a deep dive on the implications and fanon explored in our upcoming hour-long critical essay, The Multiverse of Grumbot, to be released the upcoming week. It's funny because it's true. With fresh instructions from Grumbot, Impulse assembles the Super Avengers for an insurrection.
So why don't we like the king? Why not?
The king's doing stuff.
Luckily, Pearl has a lab they can use as a hideout to discuss the plan, which mostly boils down to just annoy Rendog.
I'm not much of a fighter, okay? I'm not good at PvP and stuff.
I am.
So I was that could work, right?
Are you in trouble?
We're gonna get in trouble.
And to strike at the heart of the king's operation, they start by messing with the most prominent image of Ren's rule, the Quest Hub statue. With Rendog drinking from the soup of humility, Impulse tries to return to his life as a businessman and finishes off the roof of the Empire State Building.
I may have gotten a little carried away.
But he soon discovers that his shops haven't just been claimed, but someone, presumably the king himself, has been paying for goods with royal emeralds. In protest, Impulse boycotts the royal quests and returns to planning the revolution's next move.
We don't accept Ren as a king. And he doesn't even look like king anymore, thanks to us.
A fascinating recruit in the rebellion is Gemini Tay, not in the least because her joining the cause happens in the same video where she builds a murder basement.
I feel like for somebody who normally really nails the cottagecore look, I've absolutely perfected this dungeon. Come here, come here.
It's been a bit since Gem has started collecting the heads of her fellow men, and this week is only different in that instead of fighting them one-on-one for the heads, she duels people on unenchanted bows. As such, she has to display the collected trophies somewhere, and delights in the idea of contrasting her pretty elven castle with a sinister basement filled with the heads of her friends.
We've got a creepy cage, we've got creepy dungeon cells, a creepy fireplace, creepy saw blades, smart people blood for now.
Meanwhile, the king is just watching TV, as he and royal advisor BOO set up the projector screen and have a movie night with all the audition tapes people have sent in. The top dog watches Top Gun.
Oh my goodness, look at this! Look at that pic, Steve! Look at that six-pack!
Cleo's audition tape is just body cam footage from their meeting, but I guess found footage movies were a big thing for a while there, and Joe Hills certainly makes an impression.
Looking at all the pretty letters.
That's awesome!
Interesting.
Okay, you're a man that likes these kind of books.
That's a very nice book. Yes.
Eventually, all three of the prospective courtiers are accepted into the royal ranks, which is good, because with enemies like this, the king needs friends. And lumbar support. False Symmetry happily takes on the quest of providing the castle with a nicer interior, in the hopes Ren will spend more time indoors and less time claiming the shops for the crown.
So let's hope he's very excited and doesn't want to leave. I left the bed, like I said, because I assume he likes the dirt. I've given him some snow pillows for now. Just
Eyeing the top of the Arc of Champions, she rushes through a few non-urgent tasks in the quest hub.
And you guys came in with some train designs. But I actually decided on 2 different designs to combine and put my own little spin on it. And that's what we built. It just kind of made sense to me to have them actually carrying items because, well, it's from my factory to my main base. So, of course, it makes sense that it would be carrying the honey, for example.
Of particular note is the one where she puts a rabbit statue filled with rabbits inside Azuma Void's giant skeleton, which hilariously isn't the first time Azuma had a rabbit messing with his head, if the finale of the Logfellas adventures from Season 4 is to be believed. Good Times with Scar is haunted by a less common beast, Pearlescent Moon. Having discovered the garbage truck she left last week, Scar hasn't realised it reads ads at him until it was too late.
I showed this on stream.
What's this then? What do we have here?
Nobody's on.
Chess monster?
Gosh, it's a record.
Completely and utterly disorganized?
Oh my gosh, that's terrifying.
Seems like you may be leaning
Hold
lady
on.
services.
Is she related
Please call
to Nigel Thornberry?
The happening reminds him that he still owes the woman an excessive amount of diamonds and is finally able to deliver them. Though Venmoing the sum to her straight was simply too dull, and instead Scar installs a rigged chest at her place that drops her into the belly of a chest monster as soon as she opens it.
And you fall down into... Wait, hold on. Watch that. Oh my gosh, that's terrifying. The cleaning lady has been eaten by the chest monsters.
Every now and again, Hermitcraft reinvents a mimic, and it gets funnier every time. The contraption is actually inspired by Scar wanting to do redstone all of a sudden. It is perhaps exposure that tricked him into the mindset. Not only does Scar stock up his redstone shop, he also has the big automated storage sorter as his primary project. No doubt trying to ensure that he never again has to pay for cleanup services. Hilariously, his idea for the exterior of the thing is a trash compactor. His idea for the centerpiece of his base's main square is more solid, or it would be were it not an armor stand sculpture. Those are non-corporeal. Zombie Cleo is called on to install a statue of Scar holding the hand of his cat Jelly to mimic Walt Disney's own statue with Mickey Mouse.
Oh, yeah, these are all custom heads, except for the feet. We have a Scar and a Jelly, who's even got a little tails, which is made up, I don't know if you can see it, of her face.
The results may not be to scale. Scar's proportions are certainly very Slenderman-like to make up for the specificity of the materials. But we shouldn't be too critical of Cleo, there are generally consequences. A good example is her response to Ijevin's prank from last week, which itself is a little less of a prank and more of a death trap.
Roller coaster of friendship. Do I buy it is the question. I don't. What? No! Oh! What? No! I don't even know where this is!
This betrayal of trust earns Jevin a whole circus tent of fun that Cleo drapes over his mountain cathedral, made of a checkerboard pattern of warped wart blocks and melons, just so there isn't a single most efficient tool to easily remove it. Something malicious intent. Joke's on her, this got to be at least 12 free bone meal after composting.
Oh my god, that's like warped nylon? An art piece by Cleo. Tylo, you are going to learn not to touch me. Let me see here. Is this gonna be easy to take down? This is evil, dude. Oh.
Jevin departs from his base for the latter portion of the video, trying to mask his voluntary exile as wanting to update the design of his shulker farm, so it doesn't just sit in the open so bluntly. A lotus permutation circle in the same alien colours helps a little, but then immediately after we see Jevin gather child allay souls from a woodland mansion, so maybe we should keep an eye out for any philosopher's stones that show up on the server.
Come on, guys. Come on. Come on, team. This way. Come on. I don't know what to do. They just follow, right?
And finally, there's Doc M, whose perimeter has become a soft reboot for Attack of the Killer Tomatoes.
Yukon who actually, they made the fan art, and the Law Dinosaur put the pack together. Thank you so much, guys. This is amazing.
Having rescued his pet warden from a bedrock hole, his national anthem goes platinum, and Doc drops a copy into an automatic record player that triggers every time you take an elevator to the top of his flagpole.
So I passed on my notes to Jono, and he approached one of his friends, Majesty the God. Yeah, we got in touch with Lucci, who's a real hip-hop artist, and it sounded so good that I literally got intimidated by it. I was like, mate, wait a minute, this is a real decent hip-hop song.
With the perimeter declared a sanctuary for anyone who wants to escape the monarchy, as long as they don't mind moving in with the warden, Doc needs an embassy that makes an impression, so he expands the Hall of Goat into a much larger build, even though he has to eat into some of Mumbo's slime farm to do it. And to be fair, even if it did spawn any slime, they'd be easier to eat, now they're all tomatoes. And that's about it for this week's recap. Our writer is LoyXP, and my name is Pixel Riffs. Captions on this video were provided by Liara. Don't forget to leave a like while you're still here, and subscribe so you won't miss future recaps. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you next week.